I was raised by my stepmother. My mother, she was away, God bless her, with three of my siblings. So that was her entire life as far as raising three kids by
Yeah.
herself. So just to make life easier for her, I was shipped off to my dad, who died only at my age. I was only 3 years old when I lost my dad. So I didn't
Wow.
even know the man. I can't say I have any memory of the man vividly. I don't. Then so I'm with my stepmother, and it was not the best experience of a step parent, but I'm not going to judge because I don't believe in doing that more so in the aftermath. Because you're the point now to your question. I was forced to learn certain skills as punishment. How to
Wow.
cook,
Right.
iron clothes, do the
Right.
laundry. Those are deemed as okay. Since you're not really my child, these things you're going to help me do that. Clean floors. I was basically given domestic skill training because I was at the mercy of the step parent. At the time,
Right.
I rebelled and I was bitter. But in retrospect, to your point and question, it prepared me to becoming a parent on my own. Is that
Because you had
amazing?
those skills. You had those
Exactly.
skills, or even though you learned them under challenging circumstances,
Precisely. I did.
they came in handy when you were a single father. And the stories that shape us podcast, it's interesting because those are some of the experiences that you had that shape your ability to
Hmm.
father and do some of the practical things of
Exactly.
parenting, some of the
Except
practical
one though, Joanne. One skill I thought about going to a school to learn it. I couldn't get her hairstyle right. She'd be like, Dad, don't touch my hair. I'll get somebody. I couldn't get it right. They would be sticking out like horns. They would stick out like horns. I'm like, I gotta admit, that skill, I needed professionals to come in to assist me with that one.
So you had to outsource some of the
It's
things.
outsource is right, Joanne. I got it
You
outsourcing.
had to outsource some of the
Yes.
things. So
Believe
what
me.
what what were some of the challenges that you encounter in being a single father?
You know what? In a way, the challenges were self-imposed because I have paranoia about my kids' safety and well-being, especially my daughter, because of the world we live in, as you know, John, very well.
Yeah,
The world we
yeah.
live in, there's always the vulnerability and the risk pertaining to being a young child and the
Hmm.
craziness of what goes on. So me, even by my nature, I am so overprotective. It became almost an obsession that was not totally helpful. However, it kept them alive.
It did.
It kept them
What makes you
safe
said it wasn't helpful though? What makes you say that?
because you need, like I was saying today in the read, the wildebeest kid from 5 minutes they can run.
Yeah.
I think we cuddle our kids too long and too much, if that makes sense.
So what would
I
you have done
was
differently?
because I would have given, like for example, I would never let them go to Jamaica, especially my daughter, that young,
Right.
because I
Okay.
had such an experience in Jamaica, which another podcast, where I survived through the election, the Civil War election of 1980.
The
I
80s.
mean, not just as an onlooker, I mean, as an insider being affected by it. I could have lost my life 3 times, Joanne.
Wow.
3 times at gunpoint or knife point. And somebody would just say, hey, I know him. And that saved me. God lost my life.
Mm,
So every
mm,
time
mm,
Jamaica comes, I can deal with Jamaica now. I know how to deal
mm,
with Jamaica.
mm.
But with my kids who were born here, my paranoia was like, and I deprived them of a
Mm.
cultural experience. So that's why I'm thinking
I
that in a
see.
way it went too far.
Right, because I don't know if it's paranoia. It's your lived experience, and you're saying I live this experience,
I
and
did.
I am really worried that if I send you on your own, then these things are going to happen to you as well, and I don't want them to. So it's kind of like if you know it's raining and you're leaving home, you're going to take an umbrella, won't you?
But to be fair, they had family members on their mother's side there, so they would
Mm,
have been fine, and they didn't live in some kind of ghetto, rundown, crime-infested neighborhood. So they're
mm,
fairly safe, decent neighborhood. But I just could not come to terms with letting them go out of my sight for a week or two on a summer vacation. I just didn't. And to me, I kind of deprived them culturally because you know Jamaica, it's a great experience when it's good.
absolutely,
Great
yeah,
experience. The food,
yeah.
the mangoes, the